Tell me about your technology anyway.
It has spirit for an ape.
Here it looks like you, but now we have a wireframe image of you. Here you are in infrared. We can see your inner body and trace your genetic code. Here we can see it all. Here we can find the chromosomes that make you different from us. We will separate them, bind them with our own and create new ones. We needed a young hatchling on the brink of puberty, while its body chemistry is in such a marvelous state of flux. With you, we may be able to single out the exact piece of genetic material that can save us all.
When will you do this?
Very soon, Abe. Very soon.
Will it hurt much?
Oh, probably. But you shouldn't worry about the pain. Whether it hurts you or not, it will most definitely kill you. We can proceed immediately. Let us start.
Well?
Here's a map of the Hastings area, sir. This, sir, is the cottage outside Small Marshes where the Silurian activity is reported to have taken place, and where WPC Redworth was found. This is a Small Marshes police station, the doctor's last reported location. And this is Hastings General Hospital, sir. The policewoman apparently injured by the Silurian, or Silurians, was taken there and later abducted during an armed assault. The kidnappers caused enough other distractions to cover the abduction for a few hours.
Any casualties?
A few concussions, a few cuts from broken glass, and one fatality. A strange one, sir.
Don't stall, please, Corporal.
A woman in a nurse's uniform was shot dead in the hospital's reception. She was not on the hospital staff, and her uniform wasn't recognized by any Hastings staff, which is hardly surprising.
Why?
She was wearing a Glasshouse uniform, sir.
And the gun was a compactor 25 caliber, judging by the entry wound. Any rear damage?
Apparently not, sir. The bullet entered her brain and lodged there.
As I said, compactor 25 caliber. A toy unique to the Glasshouse. Was the weapon located?
On the reception desk, sir. It looks like she was shot with her own gun.
Let me get this straight. We have a possible sighting of a Silurian. A Category A+, unit eyes only threat. Instead of unit's commanding officer being informed, the report is intercepted by his scientific advisors and they act upon it. One goes to Small Marshes and talks to the police, one of whom has seen the creature and has been hospitalized as a result. The other advisor disappears. Neither of them are contactable. Meanwhile, the policewoman in the hospital is kidnapped and only one clue is left behind. A potential Glasshouse staff member murdered with her own gun. And I wasn't briefed on any of this until an hour ago? Anything else?
Just two things, sir. The Small Marshes police have reported that they were due to meet the doctor at 7:30 this morning at the cottage where the Silurian was seen. He didn't turn up, and they want to know if he was really attached to unit. Secondly, a teenage boy has been reported missing from the same town. His name is Marcus Marshall.
So?
A duffel bag belonging to a Mark Marshall was found near the small cottage, and Mark Marshall is Alan Marshall's son.
So apart from the doctor passing out the telex number of a supposedly top-secret defense agency, and the son of a prominent MP vanishing, I trust everything is going well. And what joy do we have from our Swiss paymasters, Corporal Bell?
Well, sir, it's bad news. Because C-19 won't release any information on our operations over the past 24 months to the UN, and both the Dutch and French governments are being equally tight-lipped. If you're going to get any more money, it must come directly from C-19 and the British government, not the UN.
Our funding is a C-19 matter, and until Sir John Sudbury returns from the hospital, we will just have to carry on as best we can. I will take a small group down to Small Marshes to look into things and find the doctor. Benton, call up Yates and ask him to get a squad together. You're staying here to coordinate everything. In my absence, you have command.
Sir!
Hawk, you liaise with Small Marshes and Hastings Police. I want total assistance from them. Put out a complete D-notice on everything relating to this. If the media boys give you any trouble, pretend we're bigger and far more powerful than we currently seem to be. And shout a lot. Scare them. Blackmail them. Threaten to shoot their families if necessary, but I want absolutely no press involvement.
Sir.
Bell, you're with me. Use the Austin, not the Daimler. I want this to be a discreet operation. Benton, ensure Yates does the same. No rovers, no uniforms, handguns for the troops. This is going to be a subtle operation, ladies and gentlemen, and there'll be no further cock-ups. Is that understood? Dismissed. Come over here, please, Corporal Hawk. I'd like you to find Miss Shaw. Contact Private Johnson and ask if he knows where she is.
Sir?
Hawk, it is my job to know about my staff, and their personal as well as professional lives, much as I don't like it. I believe you have his number. Don't make me turn a suggestion into an order.
Sir!
Brigadier,
Yes, Corporal?
the cars are ready. Mike Cates will be there with his troops in about 10 minutes.
Where's your uniform gone, Corporal?
I thought it might be a bit cold down there this early in the morning. If it's not appropriate, sir, I can...
No, it's fine, Corporal. Glad you reminded me. Could hardly go traipsing around Sussex in this get-up, could I?
Are you needing of anything else?
No, I'll get changed now. I've spares here somewhere.
Left-hand cupboard, behind the black filing case, sir. 3 pairs of shorts, 4 pairs of casual trousers, and 2 pairs of light shoes, plus assorted sweaters.
What would I do without you, Corporal?
Thank you, sir.
Better make this call first. This pleasure before business.
What do you want, Alistair?
Hello, darling. How did you know it was me?
15 years of late-night calls saying I won't see you for the next week, that's how. What do you want?
To apologize?
Oh, fine, darling. I'm supposed to forgive you for abandoning me for the millionth time, leaving me embarrassed and unable to explain to our daughter what exactly is going on?
I really am sorry.
I can't go on, Alistair. It's all too much.
What do you mean, darling?
Don't bloody darling me all the time. Stop saying that as if it excuses everything, explains anything, or justifies something. Just stop darling this and sweetheart that. What I mean, Alistair, is that you can come home now. You drop everything and get back here. Your job can survive without you for one evening. You tell Miss Hawke to keep the office running for the next 3 days or so without you. Is that so impossible?
Well, yes, darling, it is impossible. I'm an important person here. I have staff to manage. I can't just...
Can't or won't?
Can't. Absolutely. I'll try and get a weekend off in the next couple of weeks. Mike or John can hold the fort, but not right now.
Alistair, you know as well as I do that you won't leave Mike, John, Miss Hawke, Uncle Tom Cobley and all in charge. I still don't understand what is going on there, but I do know it's more important to you than your family.
Now hold on, darling. That's not true.
It is true, Alistair. Absolutely. 100% true. If I was some faint-hearted little wifey who did not have a life of her own, I'd probably sit back and accept this. But I'm not, and I won't.
Shouldn't we discuss this face-to-face?
No. You had your chance for face-to-face this evening. You blew it. This is it, Alistair. Kate and I are off. Don't try to contact us. If there's one thing you do know, it's that my father will ensure you get nowhere near us.
What are you saying? Your parents are in Chichester. Why are you going that far away? Why are you going at all, damn it?
If you don't know that by now, Alistair, you never will. Goodbye.
Fiona? Fiona! Kate, please! Come on then, Corporal. We have a job to get on with.
Dr. Elizabeth Shaw?
Yes, I'm Liz. You must be Jana.
Yeah, hi. Good choice of location. Easy to find for a newcomer to London like me. Amsterdam is full of street cafes like this. I almost feel at home. Can I get you anything?
No, thank you.
Books. Everywhere you go around here, there are books. But do people read them? No. The young today listen to rock and roll. There's peace, love, and free sex stuff. Drugs. That'll destroy them all. In 10 years, they'll all be dead. This will be a wasteland. Then what will they be, eh?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Still, at least the birds will survive. One day we may see a fox in Piccadilly again, or hear a nightingale in Berkeley Square. Do you know the old song?
I'm not sure I want to, thank you.
Oh, bless you, miss. May God smile on you today and guide you on your journey.
Oh yes, and which journey is that?
Oh, bless you again, miss. I best be going.
Well, I suppose this is hello.
That looks nice.
My absolute favorite. Chocolate is a true gift from the gods. Energizing, exotic, erotic, and very tasty. Do Do you want a sip?
No, thank you. So why are we here? Literally rather than philosophically, if you don't mind.
It's a good question. I suppose we're here to discuss our mysterious nameless friend and his strange notes. You're with UNIT, aren't you? So I thought it must be something to do with them, or at least with the United Nations. Maybe someone is defecting to Russia?
We're not MI5, you know. It's sometimes a little deeper than that.
Yeah, alright. So we're talking about little green men with 3 heads? What did I say?
The same as me when I first started working for UNIT. I said I wasn't interested in spies, invisible inks, or anything like that, nor little green men with...
3 heads. Okay, I'll tell you what I know about UNIT. Bugger all. 0. Zilch, not. I once had lunch with a UNIT officer called Jean-Dick Hayes, but all he said was that it was top secret and fobbed me off with the usual cover story.
Nice man. I met him at a reception at Westminster. He said that one day he thought UNIT personnel would all be integrated and working all over the world. I said I hoped he would come and work in Britain.
Did he?
He was killed in an accident a few weeks ago.
Oh, God. How awful. I didn't know.
How could you? It was a UNIT thing. Hush, hush. OK, to business. I can't say I like getting strange mail or phone calls, but I admit I'm intrigued. I thought our anonymous source was a hoaxer until you called.
Hoaxer?
Sorry, prankster? A man making stupid calls for the hell of it, putting me on.
Ah, right. Hoaxer. I'll remember that. My English isn't bad, but there's always room to learn.
Actually, I think your English is excellent. I forgot it wasn't your first language. Do you fancy a bite to eat? I didn't have breakfast this morning, and I know a place that does a good brunch. That's
a cross between breakfast and lunch. Believe me, Liz, where food's concerned, I know the language. I can't think here. I need to be inside something, like a restaurant. And... what's that?
The old man's bag. The old fool must have left it here. It's probably got all he owns in it. We must find him and give it back.
Maybe we can see if there's anything in there that will help us find him.
There's a letter in here. It's addressed to us. He's cleverer than we thought. And being a tramp almost guaranteed that we wouldn't look too hard at him.
Yeah, that's as may be. But let's see what he left us. I doubt he was just saying hello for the hell of it. Come on, Liz. Read it out.
Hello to both of you. If you've got this, then everything is going well. The Glasshouse has been framed for the assassination attempt on Sir John Sudbury. They're moving in for the kill now. The Minister has begun an investigation into the Glasshouse in Sir Marmaduke. Beware, both of you. Few people are what they seem. Except me, of course. I'm exactly what I seem. A faceless mystery that no one notices. Enclosed is a map. It shows an island in the Channel Isles. That is where the trail is leading. Something is there, connected to what is going on in small marshes. I don't know what exactly, possibly because of my connection with Grant Traynor. My supply of information has been diverted to other people, and I'm left in the dark. Something dangerous is going on up north, and this island is linked to it. One final thing. Beware of Sir Marmaduke Harrington Smythe. He's a tricky bugger and will not let anyone get in his way. Like all vicious animals, he's at his most dangerous when he's cornered. I believe someone is aware that I'm feeding you two, and I may have been betrayed. Perhaps that's why my information has dried up. Either way, you're on your own now. I've given you all I can. Good luck, my angels. A friend.
He's given us nothing. A map of an island and a vague reference to the north?
And why worry about the Glasshouse? They're hardly dodgy.
Can your UNIT connections get us in there?
Yes, I'll arrange transport.
Won't you get into trouble for taking a journalist there?
Right now I'm more concerned with finding out the truth behind all of this. I'm afraid brunch will have to wait. We'll get something on the motorway.
Where do we go from here?
I need to make some calls from my flat to arrange things. So Piccadilly Circus tube station.
Liz, look down that street. All those ambulances and police cars.
Let me through, please. I'm a doctor. Jana, this is the man from earlier. Look at these bullet holes. Looks more like an execution than an accident or a killing.
I guess that was our last message. We really are on our own now.
I say, old chap,
This architecture is truly remarkable.
My people have no respect for ape life. I apologize.
No need, my dear fellow. I don't blame them at all. Much further, is it? I'm finding this heat a tad intolerable.
Not far. There is much you need to understand. You will appreciate why Ball is doing what he does to the ape hatchling.
And I thought the Sistine Chapel was the pinnacle of Earth's architecture. This is rather like a church. I say, what beautiful painting up there. May I ask what they represent?
There you can see Maz Kill, legendary warrior chieftain from our 3rd dynasty, fighting the legendary two-faced lizard, his evil alter ego. And to the left is Panon Ini, leader of the Southern clan, who conquered much of the world and ruled it cruelly, although briefly. To his right is Tun Wills, who ultimately brought about Panon Ini's downfall. The lower end of that wall shows the celebrations that followed their destruction, as the previously imprisoned and cast out tribes reconverged into a new, unified civilization, eating their foes' mindless warrior beasts, the Merca.
Folk stories or historical fact?
Does it truly matter, Doctor? They inspired our race for a millennium. That is all that counts. We copied these paintings bit by bit from the Hall of Heroes at the center of our world. I doubt it still exists. Very little of our civilization has been found by our few scouts or your fellow humans.
Well, firstly, I'm not human. I'm not from this planet. Secondly, I fear you are correct. Nothing of your civilization exists at all. Millions of years of erosion and plate movement have seen to that. I find that rather sad.
As do my people. Those who are entombed, especially.
Entombed? So you weren't placed here voluntarily, then?
Look at me, Doctor. What do you see?
A person. Alien to mankind, but not this planet. A member of a race I thought of as Silurian, or Homo reptilia. Both inaccurate, I imagine, as your records here would indicate you are much older than we previously imagined.
Your human terms are unknown and irrelevant. No, Doctor, what I am is an outcast. Despised by my peers and loathed by the other inhabitants of this shelter. I'm a go-between, if you like, leader by order rather than design. In truth, one of our pure marine cousins should be leader of the shelter, but he died during hibernation, and I assumed control. You met one of my closest hatchlings in what you call Derbyshire. Like me, he foresaw the cooperation between the apes, mankind, or whatever they call themselves, and us, as to be the only viable option for survival. Others here would rather see us dominate and destroy to reclaim our territory. I fear my attempts at conciliation are destined to fail. Most of those here are young and idealistic. Auggi, the former leader's mate, is a charismatic opponent of any kind of deal with apedom.
I see your problem.
There is more, the worst part. I'm unfamiliar with ape culture. Indeed, I'm one of the few who can even imagine using those two words together. But I doubt it is much like ours. You have seen the different forms of our people. By far the biggest genetic and physiological differences lie between my clan and our marine cousins, the Sea Devil Warriors. You may have noticed that you did not see any paintings or holograms of people who look like Ball and his sisters, or any of the hundreds of their generation still hibernating here.
Indeed, it had crossed my mind. Do I assume that interbreeding is frowned upon?
You might say that. Punishment by death is far more accurate. The pure eugenics of our people are considered our race's most important principle, and our most sacrosanct belief. Those cast into the shelter were guilty of abandoning those teachings.
So Baal and the others were conceived by a union of your clan and these Sea Devil warriors?
Correct. Normally their eggs would have been crushed, and the parents executed. But our scientists knew that many millions of our people would die in the cataclysm that caused us to hibernate. They allowed the hybrids to live here for the 12 years before the Great Hibernation. We went to sleep like so many others and awoke a few years ago. Let us return to my laboratory. Now that you have seen something of our culture and history, let me help you understand our quest.
It's our own fault, Constable. We sent him down to Eves because it was Alan's most important season. Lots of constituents all swarming around the place. Mark would have hated it, so we thought a few weeks down at the seaside would be great. Kids love the seaside. Now wasted.
He's 14. He's not 6. The opposition will have a field day with this.
How can he be so heartless, Alan? Our son is missing.
I think, Mr. Marshall, it might be best if we talk to your wife alone for a few moments. Allow her to calm down a little. Could you make us all a cup of tea, perhaps?
Tea? Oh, right. Yes.
He doesn't even know how to turn the kettle on.
You'll find out, Mrs. Marshall. Men are remarkably adaptable. Would you mind waiting outside, Celine? Tell me about your son. Why would someone kidnap him? Has he any enemies? Or your husband, perhaps?
I don't know, but it's possible. It would be his bloody job again.
I understand. Has there been a ransom note?
Not here, no. Maybe Alan should go to London, see if anything's there.
Unlikely. And we don't want to draw attention to this yet. We need to let the kidnappers think we're relaxed about this. Any signs of panic and, well, we just don't want to risk anything in these situations.
Have you done this a lot?
Once. A long time ago, in Ire. My older sister was kidnapped by one of the anti-IRA groups. I had to help negotiate her release. But that was different. We're unlikely to be dealing with terrorists here. It's probably someone who's after your money. Ah, tea. Thank you very much, Celine.
Where is Alan? Is he in the kitchen still? Alan? Oh God! Ouch!
They were useless. Totally useless. They don't know where the boy is. They think he's been kidnapped.
What did you do, Sierra? Drive on, Kellyanne.
She actually lasted about 8 seconds. The gas ought to go up in about 15 minutes. There's enough to take out a couple of other houses. It'll be ages before they piece the bodies back together.
Nevertheless, Sierra, we have to move quickly. The government wants to investigate your employer over that Sudbury incident. He's been framed for something he didn't do, and my people don't want him to be cleared. In the meantime, let's see if Peter has had any luck with our artist from Sussex.
So, Peter, this is WPC Barbara Redworth, I presume. Dear, her temperature is up quite badly. Peter, whatever happened to her? She's picked up some kind of infection. Oh well, it's your project.
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Peter. I have something on my mind, and I wondered if you'd mind if I talked to you about it.
Go on.
What are we doing here, Peter? I mean, what are we actually doing?
What do you mean, Jim?
What is Marmaduke paying us for? All we do is research a few odds and ends he brings us, but we never see an end product. Why?
Because he's paying us not to ask questions of him. Only science. Only those new and unique things he provides us with. Those are the only questions we're paid to think about.
Yes, well, I suppose so. I better get on with things now, so I'll catch you later.
How old? Maybe he was testing me.
So, who exactly are these Glasshouse people then, Liz? Presumably, they're not on this Channel Island in the file of our dead contact?
No, they're somewhere in Gloucestershire, I think. I only went once. I'll give Unit a call sometime and sort out that car.
Okay. Are you sure you want to go on? I mean, if he's dead, well, what are we doing this for?
I don't know, really. I have some idea of a reason in my head, but I'm not convinced it's a good reason.
Air it!
Okay, stream of consciousness, so beware. I work for UNIT, a supposedly top-secret organisation, yet apparently everyone, including Dutch journalists, know who they are.
Permission to interrupt. I don't know what they are at all. I just know they exist. Part of my brief to myself when all this started was to find out what they are. Before our late informant contacted me, I had no idea they even existed.
Okay, granted. But nevertheless, having signed the Official Secrets Act, I'm not going to blow my future by talking about them. Sorry.
That's okay.
So anyway, I'm feeling a bit underused. I'm a quite well qualified research scientist, but as more than one person has pointed out recently, the string of letters after my name are barely recognised at UNIT.
So? Leave.
To do what, Jana? I suppose all this was my attempt to get involved a bit more, to do something of my own.
To impress your superiors at UNIT?
Not really. No. To impress myself, I think. To prove I still had it in me to research and follow things up, even if they're not strictly scientific.
Seems a good reason to me. Let's get investigating. But we have a decision to make.
What's that?
Revert to Plan A, the Glasshouse. Or go with Plan B, the Channel Islands. I prefer the latter.
Why?
I could do with a holiday. A bit of sea air. The Glasshouse, whatever it is, probably isn't going away. But things do leave small islands slightly more regularly. Let's go south. Book us a flight to Jersey. Use my company charge card. It's in my handbag.
Okay. Jana, why'd you carry a gun?
Oh god, that. I'm sorry. I forgot to even carry it now. When I first said I was coming to England, one of my photographers gave it to me. It's a replica. He bought in Rotterdam, I think.
So it's not real?
Good God, no. I wouldn't know what to do with a real gun. Horrible things. They terrify me. No, I keep it there to warn off muggers.
You'd better find your charge card thingy. I don't like guns either, and after this morning...
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. My charge card. Just give them the number. My company will pay. Oh, and Liz?
Yes?
First class, if possible. If it's someone else's money, I want to go in comfort.
This is very nice, Chuck, but I really do need to get back to the mainland. Could Sula or Tani possibly give me a lift? And then there's that young man I came here with.
If it were up to me, we would return you, Doctor. That decision is not mine to make.
No, it is mine, and everyone else's, Chuck. How do you do? I am the Doctor.
I know who you are, Abe. I am Auggi, mother of the tortured ones. This is my friend, Kruger.
Kruger, why aren't you at your station?
I believe that it is my duty as a citizen of the shelter to guard this ape. That responsibility is more important than the task to which I am normally appointed.
I see. And how long did it take for you to write that little sermon, Auggi?
I don't know what you mean, but I'm sure the Triad would not approve of your showing the lowly ape our shelter. Our tools and equipment, our defenses.
Why don't we try asking the Triad then?
Where is this Triad of yours based?
Silence! You are to remain quiet, or Kruger will quieten you.
Oh well. In that case, I'll keep quiet. Wouldn't want to upset you of all people, old chap.
I, Chuck, greet you, Triad. I'm here to present the ape we have brought into our shelter, who is known as the Doctor.
Very well, Chuck.
Greetings, noble Triad. I am the Doctor.
I am Iktar, leader of the Triad. This is my second Skibbis, and with him is Tarpok, my science advisor.
Then I am greatly honored, noble Triad. To speak with three such learned people is a great privilege.
So you are the Doctor. You knew Licklider. Were you responsible for his death?
No. I am truly sorry that Octel died. I would not be arrogant enough to say we were friends, but we were associates. We worked together.
He supplied you with the antidote to cure the virus. We know this. We are not without sympathy for his actions.
Thank you.
Release him, Kruger.
Thank you again. What Octel did certainly caused those in his shelter who did not share his views to lead an attack on the research center in an effort to stop me finding the cure. That led indirectly to some deaths and the eventual entombment of the others. However, had the virus run unchecked, mankind would have struck back in a far more violent way. That shelter would never have been able to defend itself against their weapons of mass destruction.
You say they were entombed, not destroyed?
Indeed. The humans resealed the caves rather than commit mass murder.
Why?
Because there were still a great many of your people in hibernation, including the scientists who developed the virus. A large number of the colony never awoke in the first place, and, should they be revived, will not even be aware that Octel, Morka, and the others had ever fought mankind. I was, indeed still am one day, hoping to revisit the shelter, revive your people, and talk to them. There are great areas of this planet mankind does not use. The deserts, the ice tundras, all places you can live and build and coexist with each other.
Mankind, these apes, they are a vermin. This is our planet. I will never coexist with them. I should rather die.
That, madam, if I may say so, is a totally irrational and inflammatory thing to say. Even if you fought mankind, even if you unleashed virus after virus, there are billions more apes than there are of you. It would be a long and bloody war, and one that you could not win, once mankind at large begins to know of you. If they see you as hostile, your shelters will be sought out. If you antagonize them, they will locate every sleeping reptile person on this planet and kill them. Madam, if you want a war with mankind, you will certainly get one, and you will receive your wish. You will surely die.
Are you threatening me, ape?
No. I am simply stating a fact. Great Ichthar, you have survived so many millions of years. Why throw all that away in a war? Seek peace, I beg you.
You speak well for an ape. The Triad will consider your words carefully. Chuck, we shall communicate soon. Until our next conversation. Take care, all of you.
You can take off that smug look, ape. The Triad might be swayed by rhetoric, but they are 3 old cowards. My prime concern is for my young, and their continued existence, no matter what the cost. I, too, shall consider your words, ape, very carefully indeed.
She is a very powerful woman, Chuck.
She would be shelter leader if I let her. I see it as my main job to be a counterbalance to her extremist views. Nevertheless, Doctor, she has many followers here, especially amongst the young ones. They see her as some kind of potential savior. Her and Ball, her son. He is a science student, a very good one, but very determined.
How careful, though. I've known many scientists, all very good ones, but they all lack one important thing necessary to be a really good scientist.
What is that, Doctor?
Morals, dear chap. The ability to judge right and wrong, and not to live by the old credo that the ends justify the means. Is Ball like that?
I think we should go to his laboratory, Doctor. Quickly.
What is the hurry, Chuck?
Ball, has he experimented upon the ape hatchling?
Yes, but sadly he won't know the results of...
Ball, what have you done?
Who let this ape in here? Sula, where are you? How dare you let this thing into my workplace, Chuck? What were you thinking of? Think of the contamination.
Balderdash and rot. Where is Mark Marshall?
The ape hatchling. Do you know what this is, ape? Has your puny science achieved this yet?
Of course I do. If you stop being so blind about mankind, you'd understand that their science is on par with yours in many respects.
Nonsense. If the apes are so advanced, why do they have diseases? Why could they not build a shelter like this? Why do they not live on the moon yet? We have all that technology. They have nothing.
My dear young lady, you are so very wrong. Mankind has that ability. It just has not made use of it yet, or doesn't realize it hasn't. But the ability is there.
But to my question, ape.
He's called the Doctor, Ball. He's a scientist, too.
My apologies, Doctor. As one scientist to another, do you recognize this?
It is a double helix, the basic structure of genetics in all life.
Very good. This is one of my people, as is this.
Yes, that's more like the Silurians of the Triad.
Here are the others. We, on the other hand, are different. We are hybrids, the byproduct of genetic interbreeding. 2 genetic strains which are too different to breed true when crossed. Maybe Chuck has explained that our aquatic caste and our land castes are forbidden to mate. The genetic structure is too impure. Well, the mating happened shortly before the Great Hibernation, and we are the result.
You're alive? I presume you're healthy? What is the problem?
Correct. We are alive, but we are sterile. We are at the end of our line, and you are most certainly wrong about our health. Most of our people live to be 200, maybe 250 years old. Our research into our sterility has proven we only have another 8 or 9 years before our cellular structure collapses and we die.
I'm truly sorry. But how does that involve Mark?
That's my great discovery, Doctor. The ape chromosomes, vile as they are, contain the genes we need to survive, to correct the imbalance and give us longer to develop a cure for our sterility.
I imagine your mother does not approve.
Auggi would be horrified if she knew you were actually implanting ape material into your own bodies.
Then she must not know. And if she finds out, Chuck, our revenge will be very swift indeed.
Look, this is all very well, but your inter-shelter politics are of no interest to me. Where is Mark?
Our politics ought to interest you, Ape. Auggi, our mother, would prefer you dead. Chuck would prefer to let you go and tell the other apes all about us. But the three of us, well, we'll see. And as you are here now, I rather think it will be our decision. And if you want to see your ape hatchling, it's in there. I remember how attached to each other you were. It's disgusting. All that groping and mauling each other. How primitive.
Oh, what have they done to you, Mark? His pulse. It's very slow.
Doctor? Is that you?
Yes, Mark. Just sleep. You've had an accident, but you're going to be fine. I'll look after you.
The man reptile said it would hurt. He was right. Oh, I want to go home.
I don't think we can yet. But as soon as we can, I'll let you know. Now, just sleep. Sleep. Was what you have done to him necessary? He's suffering from borderline pneumonia.
Yes. Remember, we are not savages, primitives. We do not experiment on vermin just for the fun of it. We do not kill, maim, or fight for fun. We needed this sacrifice to try and find a cure.
And have you?
I will not know for a while. That is why the hatchling is still alive. We may need to study his DNA more closely. And you will stay here as well, for now.
Now, just a minute! Ah!
The paralysis will pass in time.
How long?
A few hours, maybe a day. By then we may have retaken our world. That depends on Auggi. All I will say is that with you here, this time, no one can stop us.